Most people don't live their lives, they follow them. They follow trends, they follow opinions, they follow crowds, they follow approval, and they mistake movement for direction. There's an old metaphor that keeps resurfacing for a reason. The lion and the sheep. Not because one is better in a moral sense, but because one thinks independently and the other survives by blending in. The safety of the flock. The flock exists for a reason. There's safety in numbers, comfort in agreement, validation in sameness. When you move with the group, you don't have to think deeply. You don't have to take responsibility. You don't have to risk being wrong alone. If something fails, blame is shared. If something succeeds, credit is diluted. The flock rewards obedience, not courage. And for most people, that's enough. Why most people never lead. Leadership is romanticized, but lived leadership, that's different. Leading means acting without permission, making decisions without applause, standing alone before anyone joins you. Most people don't avoid leadership because they lack ability. They avoid it because leadership removes excuses. If you lead, failure is personal. Responsibility is total. Isolation is guaranteed, at least at first. The flock avoids pain by avoiding agency. What being aligned actually means. Being aligned isn't about aggression. It's about clarity. A lion moves with intention, doesn't ask for consensus, doesn't need constant reassurance, and accepts solitude as the price of direction. Lions don't rush. They don't chase everything. They don't react to every noise. They conserve energy for what matters. Independence isn't loud. It's focused. The sheep mindset. The sheep mindset isn't stupidity. It's fear disguised as normalcy. It sounds like everyone's doing it. That's just how things are. I don't want to stand out. And what will people think? Sheep outsource thinking. They borrow beliefs. They inherit opinions. Not because they're incapable, but because thinking independently is uncomfortable. The flock doesn't ask, is this true? It asks, is this accepted? The cost of thinking for yourself. Choosing independence comes with a price. You will be misunderstood. You will be criticized. You will be labeled arrogant, difficult, different, and threatening. Not because you are, but because you don't fit neatly into expectations. The lion isn't hated for being cruel. It's resented for not needing permission. And that makes people uncomfortable. Loneliness before respect. Here's a truth no one likes to say. Independence is lonely at first. Before respect comes isolation. Before admiration comes doubt. Before leadership comes silence. People don't follow what they don't understand. People don't follow what they don't understand. And they don't understand what challenges their worldview. So when you step away from the flock, you walk alone. Not forever, but long enough to test your resolve. The moment people start watching, at some point something shifts. Results appear. Consistency shows. Direction becomes visible. And suddenly, the same people who doubted you start observing quietly. They don't apologize. They don't admit envy. They just watch. Leadership is never celebrated at the beginning. It's studied at the end. Being the lion doesn't mean rejecting others. It means refusing to abandon yourself. It means choosing responsibility over comfort, direction over approval, truth over popularity. The flock will always exist, and it will always be tempting. But growth doesn't happen in safety. It happens in decision. Because the world doesn't need more sheep. It needs people willing to think, stand, and move on their own.